Welcome everyone. Beautiful Sunday to you. Gosh, it feels good to be connected to the world at the moment. Playing a little jam for you. It's funny, every time I listen to this record, it just gets me. Feeling it. Let's try and dub this out. Nice. Yo, so how is everyone? Greetings from my basement here in Rochester, New York. And I'm going to take these headphones off because it's adding a little latency to my ears. So, feeling good. Glad you all are doing well. Hope everyone has been safe and healthy and doing all the right things to social distance and keep the vibes good. Wow, so much to share with you guys. Lots of good things happening in my world. I guess I'll back up the train just a little and kind of fill you all in where I've been. It's been a little bit of a crazy ride, but a good one, trying to count my blessings every day. We finished that show with the movement out in Colorado. And then I flew back to New York City to spend some time with my love, Autumn. And I was chilling there for a few days. And then had plans to come back up to chill with my kids up in Rochester. So I took the Amtrak back up. And that's about the time when things started getting crazy with the coronavirus down in New York City. So Autumn called me up literally the day I got back up to Rochester and was like, yo, I don't know. I think you got to, come rescue me. So I was like, of course, yeah. So I ended up jumping in my car literally the day after I took the 6-hour train back up to Rochester and drove 6 hours back down to New York City. Me and Autumn grabbed a whole slew of her stuff and we packed it in my car and we got out. We hit the eject button and cruised back up to Rochester and we've been here ever since. Safe and sound, hanging with the kids. We've got a live studio audience here today. Kofi and Ari, my two kids. Bruce, come here. You guys gotta say hi to Bruce. Bruce has been the hero of this so far. Bruce has been the ultimate lover of life and lover of us, and we love him. And it's good to go on hikes with this little dude. Good to do anything with this little dude. He's the man. Bruce, the Goodwin mascot. Woo! Well, I thought to myself, man, what do I want to share with you guys today? And the thought was, man, let's do a little bit of everything. Let's do something sharing that's good for maybe our minds. And I wanted to share something that I've been focusing on recently. It's a brand new project for me, growing some food. And we've been doing these microgreens and it's been incredible. It's exciting to see life coming out of these pieces of soil and to share with you some tips and tricks and hopefully inspire you guys to maybe grow a little food at your joint too, because it's pretty mad easy. This stuff just happens. You give it a little light and a little water and couple few little tips along the way. We've been pumping out microgreens as our first experiment. And then I wanted to share some music for the soul. So we got some mind, got some body, got some soul, and we got some people. Oh nice, the chat's happening. James G, Bruce looks like a cool cat. Bruce is the coolest cat that I know. He's the raddest cat I'll ever own. And big ups to everyone. I'm glad some peeps are here. Kelly Rodriguez, what's up? Reed Foster, goody. Good to be here. So I wanted to start out and just do a little just share some thoughts on meditation with you guys. It's been something that has kind of come in and out of my life at various points. And the times that it's in, I'm like, why don't I do this all the time? I just feel better. I feel more relaxed. I feel more present. I feel more connected to the world. I feel less in my own head and body. I feel like I'm just sharing a more peaceful and connected vibe with the world in general, which is, it feels good. Who doesn't want that? So, my thoughts are that I think meditation, the word of it itself, maybe sometimes gets a bad rap. It's like, maybe turns some people off and it being like too spiritual or too trendy or too whatever, is happening, in people's thoughts on that. But I like to think of it more as like a warm bath for the brain. a nice sauna for the mind, you know? Uh, think about like the brain being a muscle and how it's always just working, working, working. Our thoughts are crazy. We're just constantly rattling things in our brain. And just like if you went to the gym and you were working out all day, every day, doing heavy bench presses, you know, you need those times of relaxation to let that muscle grow again. And it's the same with the brain. I feel like to optimize our mental space, it's really nice to take a second and just relax, you know, and just let it sort of simmer. Yeah, Paulie, yo, alien track. Microgreens are the truth. Ah, nice. Yeah, so meditation has been great. There's so many different kinds. And I guess I just want to encourage you guys to experiment. For me, it took a bunch of experimentation to kind of find what worked well for me. And there's so many different kinds that I think it's good to just try a bunch. My meditation routine, it doesn't always stay the same. So I guess I'll share with you guys a couple meditation techniques that I've been using that I've been loving. If you want to check in on them, check in on them. The one that I've been digging most recently is transcendental meditation. And the concept behind TM is basically it's mantra based. So you're taking, typically it's 2 syllables, and there's syllables that don't mean anything. So for me, I ended up looking on a TM birth chart. I found it online because I never went to a seminar. I encourage people to go do seminars. I think it's great, but I think it also shouldn't be the thing holding you back from experimenting with it. So I ended up looking up and it was like, 1982. Okay, your mantra is Eng Nama, right? So it doesn't bring up any connotation of any thought, you know, they're just kind of like nonsense syllables. And I think that's the point. It's like it's like the concept of saying Om, you know, it's just a vowel syllable. It just kind of lets you resonate with that. But yeah, I'll spend 20 minutes in my mornings, pretty religiously in the morning. Kind of the first thing I do when I get up. Make some tea. And then I've got just a nice seated area right by my back, sliding glass door that looks out into nature, looks out into the forest. And I got all my plants surrounding me. And I like sitting on a couple cushions. It gets my butt up, makes it comfortable. I sit just cross-legged. I have a lot of friends of mine who just sit in a chair with their hands resting on their knees. So many different ways to go about that, you know. I think it's mainly just about getting into a comfortable space. I like thinking about good posture and sitting up, energizing myself all the way from the lungs all the way up into my head. But in general, yeah, I'm just sitting there. I start with my eyes open, but eventually eyes closed. And I'm just saying this Ang Nama over and over. This is the phrase that I'm just repeating over and over in my head. There's no particular cadence to it. Sometimes as I get deeper into the meditation, I start saying that even slower and slower. And I draw those vowels out into being like just real long, tripped out sounds, you know? And for me, you know, I always wondered what the goal was. You know, it seemed like, okay, we're doing this meditation. Like, it's frustrating because sometimes you get in there and my brain's just like, it's going. But I don't think there is like a sort of a concrete goal. And I think people sometimes get lost in thinking that they need to achieve a tangible thing. For me, if I can get my thoughts to just sort of settle, you know, and if it's only, you know, I do 20 minutes every morning. If it's only 2 or 3 minutes that moment happens, well, that's beautiful. And if you guys want to start, I suggest starting, you know, small. Do 5 minutes, you know, just do something that seems maintainable that you might be able to do for a week, 2 weeks, and just see the progress over time. Because the first day, it might feel like you're out in a boat on the ocean and the ocean's like just going crazy, right? Because that's typically what our mind's doing. But yeah, it's really nice to like take a few days sequenced in a row and then just see how the water sort of in the brain gets just a little chiller and a little chiller. And it's kind of a beautiful way to go about it. You know, things just sort of like, sort of settle in, you know, and you get to sort of get outside of yourself. some other resources that have been really great for me. There's this one podcaster. His name is Tim Ferriss. And I love his podcast. You can see it on Spotify. I think it's on Apple. But Tim Ferriss is this really brilliant author, but also, I guess I picture him as like someone specializing in human optimization. He's interviewing all these people who are like beyond brilliant at what they do, but it spans every genre of type of occupation, athletes, politicians, everyone. And he has a couple great broad podcasts on meditation in specific. The one I'm resonating with, he was talking about how for him meditation, it puts him in a place where he realizes that he is just on one character on this stage. So if you almost picture life going on and there's this movie camera, right? And we're always like inside our own head. We're looking through our own movie camera, right? Constantly looking at the world like that. But it's fun to sit there and meditate and sort of like picture what I'm looking like in the world, like if I was outside of myself and just picturing that, wow, I'm just this living, breathing human being that's sharing the same love and energy and water and light that everyone else is, So that's kind of nice, that's kind of a beautiful thing. Yeah. Oh, shed some light on the sample of the Alan Watts lectures in your music. Alan Watts is really brilliant, and I wish Josh was here. I wish all the movement guys were here with us today, but we're all doing our part, self-quarantining. Josh, our lead singer, he was the one who really took the reins on the Alan Watts thing. So hopefully we can get Josh up on there and I can let him give you his exact thoughts on what exactly the specific inspiration was. But if you listen to, the resonation of that thought is really beautiful. I love it. I think it's basically what we're talking about, that, we're just part of this really beautiful, great picture. Yeah. What else? Meditation. I'm trying to think. There's a couple other styles of meditation that are kind of cool. Another thing of note is, for me, I love putting headphones on when I'm doing my meditation. And I found a couple sound bites that are really beautiful to listen to. There's this one called Hollow Sync. And my friend Nero, who's a brilliant artist down in New York City, visual artist, he's the one who kind of, he got me on to the Hollow Sync thing. I think it's HOLOSYNC. But basically it sounds like sort of ambient rain in the rainforest. And then there's like these Tibetan bowls that are just sort of resonating in the middle. But you can go on the App Store. There's so many beautiful ones. Headspace, I think, is one. There's a lot of great meditation ones, and even guided meditations. I haven't really found my way with the guided meditation, but it is a beautiful way to go. And Ja Will. Oh man, yes. Yo, Ja Will, good to see you on the line. And yeah, we are all grateful that Autumn's out of New York City in time. We have a lot of really great friends down there right now, and we've been Zoom chatting with all of them, and everyone's been staying healthy. So we're crossing our fingers that everyone, friends, strangers, everyone, stays healthy in these times. So yeah, Headspace. So Headspace is a beautiful one. And then, just experiment with it. Have fun with it. If you find some forest sounds, sometimes I've listened to just like wind in the forest or ocean waves or, whatever. But it's a great way to kind of get into that headspace. And the other styles of meditation that I know of that I've experimented with a little, there's one called Mindfulness meditation. And that one is basically just body scanning. So to mess around with that, you're basically just sitting there and you're observing your abdomen, your belly going in and out with each breath. And in your mind, every time the abdomen is filling with air, you're saying rising silently in your head. And then as it contracts, as you exhale, you're saying falling. So you're just sort of observing the nature of your breath and thinking about rising and falling. Yeah, Lucius, nice. We got some nasty Keezies on the line, giving Ja Will some love. Awesome. And the last one that's been really amazing, and I did it with my kids the other day and Autumn as well. And it was such a beautiful way to start the day. And I encourage you guys to do this. It was kind of given to me from my friend Mars. Mars, man, if you're out, I think Mars is out in LA right now. Mars is like an absolute brilliant artist, visual artist, love creator. He's a musician. He is a crazy lighting designer. Does front of house lights for massive shows. But he led us through this meditation, and he called it the Jellyfish meditation. So I want to go through this with you guys because I think it's really cool, and I hope you guys take a little time to do it. The concept is you're picturing the light inside of you, right? Whether it's you picture it as like a soft orange light. Ari, my son, said it was like this beaming pink light, red light beaming from his heart. And the idea is that we expand it like a jellyfish would, right? If you picture a jellyfish swimming in the ocean, how it blows up and gets really beautiful and then comes back and contracts. And the idea is that we start inside of ourselves and we start giving ourselves love, because, giving ourselves love is really important. If we're not feeling good about ourselves or not feeling good about the energy that we have inside of us, it's tough to give out some beautiful energy to other people. So the idea is we start and we're just breathing and we're picturing this light inside of us, this energy growing as we inhale. And then as we exhale, we bring it back into us, right? And then we inhale and it grows again, right? And then we exhale and it comes back within us. And then for me, I start picturing specific people, and I picture people that are close to me that I can have a concrete visual of. And I start with people who live really close to me. So when I was doing this meditation with my kids and Autumn in the living room, I started by focusing on each one of them. And I pictured my love going out of myself, right? And filling up. I started with Kofi because he was sitting right next to me. And I was picturing the love going out of me and filling up Kofi, right? And then I'd come back in and fill myself with love. And then I'd expand my jellyfish again and I would fill up Kofi even more. I'd do 10, 15, 20 breaths and I would just keep blowing up Kofi with love, right? And then I decided to take my sphere of love and I started including Ari in it, right? And then I'm like blowing Ari up with love, right? Expanding my love out of me and blowing Ari up. And then I included Autumn. And then I had this little force field, this dome, this glowing yellow dome of love over top of all of us. And then I started thinking about my parents who live like 20 minutes from me. And I started picturing them. And then I started picturing this love expanding out even farther, right? And then I started thinking of my grandmother and my friends down in Naples and my buddy Carl and Autumn's parents who live a little farther away. They're like an hour and a half away. And then I started thinking of my friend Rico and Eden who are down in like Kingston, New York. And then all my people down in New York City. And then I have a brother that lives out in Denver. So each time I'm just adding one person to this, right? And I'm blowing this love up even more, right? And I'm sending it out a little farther. One visual that always comes to my head is as if I was like a drone, like a camera drone, and I was flying up higher and higher and higher in the sky, right? And I realized I'm just sitting there, one part of this, right? Part of this huge picture, right? So I start looking at the picture as if I'm not the camera anymore, and then I'm just expanding it. And eventually, I'm thinking of my friends in Ghana, West Africa, and I'm thinking of my friends in Denmark. I'm thinking of the beautiful people I've met traveling the world playing music in Southeast Asia, and all over in Hawaii. And I just picture this love growing, and eventually it gets to the point where I've surrounded the earth. My jellyfish of love has expanded and surrounded the earth. And then I'm out in the atmosphere, right? Then I'm out in the cosmos, up with the sky, in the stars. And then I'm just blissfully surrounding the universe with love. So that was from my friend Mars. It's a really cool meditation. Mess with it. Yeah, I implore you to go and try that. Let's see what's happening in the chat here. Kelly Rodriguez, my acupuncturist, got me started practicing light therapy, white specifically, a few years ago. But I love this expanded process by sending it to others. Yeah, it is beautiful. And I think that's, for me, where music is for me right now. Music as a young child, I really felt it filling myself up. And it was this obsession, because I hit these moments where I reached these states of bliss, right? Where I was performing or playing an instrument, and I got so elated, feeling that I was like, wow, I want to feel that again. I want to go higher. And there was always the goal, like I was practicing and trying to hone in on my music to try and get it to the point where I could feel that feeling more often. And now I think I've gotten to the point where I realized that all of that was just teaching and learning to the point where then I can give it out to people. And that's a beautiful thing. When I'm traveling with the movement and I'm missing my family back here at home, oftentimes, I'm in that struggle of being like, wow, am I doing the right thing? Am I missing out on hanging with my dudes and my girl and my fam and my friends back at home? But I realize how much love we can all share. And it's a beautiful space in a live concert setting, where we're just vibrating on these vibrations all together. And honestly, like, the more amped I'm feeling everyone in the crowd, and the more love they're feeling, and the more freedom they're feeling, the more freedom I feel as well. And it's this beautiful symbiotic relationship where we all get to just share in this experience together. And that is the beauty of music. And that's honestly why I love the movement. I love the dudes that we play with. Josh and Jay and Gary, you dudes are like homies for life, brethren from another methrin. That even makes sense. But yeah, it's just been great. And I think all those guys are on the same tip, and it's good to be purveyors of love and light. And I'm glad you guys encourage us to do it, and we all get to share in it together. So that is the beauty of this life that we live. And, stoked you guys are all along for the ride. Stoked to be on the ride. Stoked we're all on the ride together. So, gosh, that was of the mind. Little thoughts on the mind. Some meditation. Yo, my cousin Kyle. Yeah, big ups from Colorado. Sending love. Kofi and Ari and Autumn. Yeah, killing. It's beautiful. Yo, Kyle plays in this really rad band, reggae band called Polyculture. Those guys actually flew from Colorado to Rochester a year and a half ago. And we got in the studio, and we just I think we were hitting like 18-hour days. We were really crushing long days in the studio, but everyone was so inspired, and it was like the music was so good and the vibe was just right. But I produced an album with those guys, and it's amazing. Mountains to Cross. So if you guys haven't heard Polyculture, Polyculture, check them. They're on Spotify. They're on all the things. So killing. Kyle, mad love back. Say what up to the crew. I actually just did a remix for those guys on their song The Answer. So also check out their remix album that's coming out soon. Let's see. The Magic Man 182. What's your favorite movement album? And how did you start playing with them / meet them? It's a really good question. I love the transition from album to album and seeing the growth. And no album is a repetition of the other. I think that's what I love about the catalog with the movement. I first started playing with them right around the time the Golden record was cut. My childhood one of my best friends, Seth Herman, he grew up in Naples with me, in Naples, New York. He started Root Fire. He started the company called Root Fire. And one of I think maybe the first band he signed was The Movement. And those guys at the time were in transition. I think Josh had just rejoined the band, and they were looking to cut a new record, and they wanted to sort of expand out of just being a 3-piece. So yeah, I had linked with those guys a long time ago when I was playing with a band called John Brown's Body. We played a show in LA that was very memorable for me where the movement opened for us. And then fast forward, yeah, a bunch of years later, Seth calls me up and it's like, hey, this band, The Movement's going in the studio, going to Jason Mraz's sort of home studio out in, it's called White Star. It's in rural Virginia somewhere. But the idea was for us to go in the studio for 10 days and cut 10 songs. So I was like, man, this sounds really fun. So I rallied down to Virginia, my car packed full of keyboards and weird instruments and all the stuff from the studio that I thought could be fun little music toys and makers and inspiration for the session. Got down there and linked with those guys and this producer, Danny Kalb, who's like now just a total mentor to me. And I love Danny and I've worked with him on a bunch of the Hyrie records. And I hope to just continue working with him because he's so brilliant. And I've always learned a lot from him and love his vibe. And Danny, if you're out there, big ups. But we went in the studio and I was thinking for sure I'd roll up and the band would have everything ready. Like they'd have demos of each song and it'd be pretty well structured. And because we didn't have a lot of time, 10 days, that's a song a day. And we got there and I realized nothing had been written whatsoever. And I was like, oh my gosh, okay, all right, song a day. We got to write a song a day from scratch. And we did. We just like started every morning and someone would have some ideas, some like seed to start. A lot of times it was Josh. I think I created a couple beats that became the foundation for a few of the other songs. And then we just started building a song. And by the end of each day, we had cranked a tune out, lyrics and everything. Josh is like, he's insane like that. Josh can sit there with a piece of paper and you see the thought just spark in his brain. And he's like a madman, just like jotting lyrics down. And then, in the matter of like 20 minutes, he's got all the lyrics for the song written out and he's in the vocal booth and he's singing it. He's not only does he have the lyrics written out, but he's got the melody. He's got the hook. That's why we call him Captain Hook, because he's just like, he's on, like he's always on too. I've been on the road with him where we're writing in hotel rooms and I'll be like, yo, Hook, check out this rhythm. And he'll be like, oh, sick. And like, if he's really feeling the rhythm, he'll be sitting on his bed, just scratching out lyrics. And he'd be like, all right, set up a mic. Let me cut this. And I'm like, what? You heard this like 2 seconds ago. And he just like, man, he just rips it. It's so crazy. So blessed to be in the world with Josh Swain and blessed to make music with him. He's incredible. And all the dudes are. Yeah, Bob Nilsson in the house too. Oh, yo. Oh, the studio looks dope. Oh, man. Yo, it was so killing hanging with you at Max's. Yeah, some Denver love. I think you're out in LA now, right? Did you make the move? Well, much love back. Skeleton Ocean. Yeah, check out his music too. Good buddy of mine from Denver. I think he just made the move to LA to try and lighten up the dream. And yeah, all the best, man. But yeah, this is just the home pad here. This is the basement that I've converted into kind of a home studio. I have a bigger studio up in Rochester. Yeah, sure. Yeah, let's try and pan out a little bit. Maybe we can see a little more of this madness. Can see some of what's going on. I've got a tractor DJ set up down over here. Yeah. Been messing with DJing, which has been really fun. We've got our microgreens down here. I'm going to talk to you guys about some microgreen growing here in a second. And then, yeah, back in the back, I just got a couple Barefoot speakers. That company is totally incredible. Their speakers have really blown my mind. These are the Footprints. And they're a smaller version. They came out a little more affordable. Oh, also not very affordable. I think I'm still paying those off on my credit card. And then, yeah, an Ableton Push over here. I've got, Universal Audio, Apollo Twin, and an 8-core processor. Another MIDI keyboard. Over here, I've got a vocal booth, and our vocal booth is now turned into our microgreen booth. Yeah, so that's over there. And then, a bunch of guitars and things like that. I also have the movement, the Axe Effects stuff here. We just got on these, and these are really incredible. They're by a company called Fractal, and it's basically a guitar simulator. It's captured a ton of different guitar amps and with different microphones in real studios. And they've got Marshalls and Boxes and Fenders and every single model that you could ever dream of. And we've been programming those for our live shows. We've gotten rid of physical amps, which seems crazy. If you told me I was going to be doing that 5 years ago, I would have been like, nah, that's never going to happen. But those things sound incredible. And really stoked. There's wild MIDI programming that I'm doing in Ableton that's allowing me to be wireless and go crazy running around the stage and have my patch change for the chorus when I want the distortion to kick in. I don't have to press anything. I got a MIDI signal sending it, so it just goes off and does its thing. So that's pretty cool. And yeah, just vocal mic U47 for cutting some vocals, and Mercury mic pre, and just a couple things here and there. Oh, and we got a fun drum set over here that has some electronic triggers on, which is really great. Yeah, where were we at? What were we talking about? Man, going on tangents. I think it's microgreen time. Yeah, y'all, I'm so stoked on these microgreens. I hope you guys get excited. This is like the funnest thing going on in my life right now. Aside from having the blessing of being in hibernation with my loved ones. I'm really soaking that in. That's like the silver lining in all this. Touring is such a beautiful thing and I love it to death, but having a little time to resonate with my loved ones is like, man, I can't get enough of that. So the microgreen vibe. Let me start out by giving you the concept of microgreens. So microgreens is, yeah, Derek, what up, brother? So microgreens, the idea is you're spreading a lot of seed over a tray. And instead of letting each plant grow to full maturity, you're actually just letting each of those seeds grow up a couple inches. And then you're coming through with scissors and chopping those microgreens as soon as they're, a couple inches tall, which is usually, every seed is different, but we're finding 7 to 10 days we can harvest microgreens from the time we plant the seed to the time we're ready to cut them and eat them. So that's been so sick. What's up? Tetrahydro. So yeah, let me share with what we got on. I'll give you where we're at with one of our trays. Let me see what's up here. See if I can tilt it down for you. So you can see we're doing it in a 2-inch tray. We might be switching over to 1-inch trays, not sure. But the idea is you fill it, about halfway or 3/4 of the way with just potting soil. And wet the soil pretty well before you go planting anything. Because for the first germination period, you're just sort of letting them sit there. So you want to make sure they got plenty of food. And you're just sprinkling the seeds all throughout the potting mix. And my good friend Petra owns a company called Fruition Seeds, and Fruition Seeds is down in Naples, New York, where I grew up. And she's totally incredible, but you can go to their website, Fruition Seeds. She's like the master of this. I'm just like scratching the surface. This is something I've always wanted to do, and she's sort of inspired me to do it. But yeah, go to Fruition Seeds, and she has a bunch of video tutorials on exactly how to do everything, step by step. So the idea is that I'll show you guys a little starter tray. And I wonder if you can see it. So let's see. I'm going to tilt this up. So we just dropped these seeds down yesterday. This is a broccoli seeds. I think anything in the Brassica family is kind of a win. But you can see how densely these, hopefully you guys can see it well. But yeah, all the bright brown are the seeds. And basically after we sow the seeds, which is the fun part, we just put a tray on top of it like this, add a little pressure onto that, and that sits there for like 2-3 days while it germinates. And then eventually you'll see the sprouts coming out, and they'll be a little yellow, but that's just because we haven't photosynthesized them yet. And Another thing that we've noted is really helpful are these seed mats. Oh, heat mats. Heat mats for the seed mats. Heat mats by Matt for the seed mats. But these things just raise the temperature under the tray by about 15 degrees. So they help the germination period go a little quicker, and that's been really great. So then after those sit inside of the tray with it covered for 2-3 days, we then photosynthesize them. So we've got one LED light that sits, 20 inches above these trays. And it's full spectrum, so there's a lot of reds and blues. It's really wild looking, but the reality is you could use any T5 shop light. You can use a fluorescent light. They say between like 5,000 and 6,500 Kelvin is roughly what you want for microgreens. So yes, what is this one? This one's only, I think this one's 4 days old, and it's like a mescaline mix and arugula. The arugula is so bomb. It's really spicy. It's really fantastic. But yeah, as you can see, this is like 4 days old, and it's already popping. It's happening, crisping. And one of the great things with microgreens is like the nutrient content is supposedly off the chain, really good for you. And you harvest them fresh, like this tray here. This was like a sort of sampler tray because we wanted to know what the different seeds or plants would taste like. So I think here we've got arugula. This is baby cow. We got some spinach over here. Spinach is Asian spinach. This one didn't turn out as beautifully as we wanted it to. Over here we got beets, which have a lovely little red stem. And then we got basil, which is the slowest growing of all of them, but the one I'm maybe most excited about. But the great part is, you just come through and you chop it right above the soil, and there's no need to wash it or anything. You just chow it and cut it, put it on anything, everything. Put it on your, well, maybe not your cereal in the morning, but maybe your eggs and maybe a sandwich. Maybe at night you make a salad and you sprinkle some microgreens over top of it, but the flavor is really robust and beautiful. And we're just cycling like 3 trays right now, but we're going to have a constant supply of fresh microgreens, which is sick. It's like up in New York here, we don't have a very long growing season, but it's been a rad addition to life here. So yeah. Yeah. T5s are amazing lights and cheaper. That's the truth. We actually ordered some T5s just recently. We're expanding our microgreen operation. But the T5s, yeah, we got some LED T5s. They don't get too hot. The electricity draw is pretty low. So that's going to be cool. Yeah, and we're going to expand this, and it's going to be pretty rad. Got some other things growing. We got some questions here from Magic Man. What's the average day like of a musician if you aren't touring? Then what's a day like when you are touring? Pretty curious, as I have a 9 to 5 and no clue how life works outside of that. Yo, I like this question. Magic Man, good one. So when I'm not touring, my average day, it really varies, but I am the keeper of my own day, and that is for better or for worse. But man, my life is so diverse. So a lot of times I'll come home, and if I don't have work, I'll be waking up early. I've got 2 kids that are in school right now. So I'll wake up early. I'll hang out with these guys, get them ready for school. We typically do like a quick 10-15 minute meditation as a little micro fam, the 3 of us, and cook some healthy breakfast, and then I drive them up to school. And then oftentimes I'll come back. I'll try and get a little exercise in every day, because that just makes life better. I don't know why I fall off that train as much as I do, but when I am on it, I'll typically try and schedule in some time to go take a walk in nature, get outside, do that. And then for me, it's down to the basement here, and I'm sitting here and I'm writing tracks, or sometimes people are sending me songs to remix or to mix in general. Sometimes I have bigger studio sessions where I'm tracking a band from scratch, and I'll go up to Black Dog Studios, which is a studio in Rochester. Really great, amazing place. Metallica's album Kill 'Em All was cut up at that studio, which is cool rock and roll history, Rochester, New York. But yeah, sometimes I'm up there recording. It's a big it's a big room, big live room. So we can cut drums, and there's isolation booths for vocalists and guitar amps and all these things. Sometimes I'm down here getting ready for the next tour. Oftentimes I've got I've got just like a crazy amount of moving lights, or if we're programming a light show for the actual tour coming up, that stuff usually gets shipped to my house, and I'm sitting here just having a total party in the basement, trying to like put on, like program these lights to do crazy things and strobe in the right point. And I remember the last tour I was programming, and I had the fog machines down here because it helps see the beams cut through, right? So you can program it a little easier. And I set the fire alarm off in the house, so I had to go through the whole house and remove all the fire detectors so I could keep programming the lights. So that's like that's a typical day. And then trying to keep up on all my instruments. I'm a multi-instrumentalist, and that is so much fun and so much work. So oftentimes I'll try and do a little hand drumming. I spent some time in college in West Africa. I was there for 6 months in Ghana learning hand drumming, and I can't get enough of that feeling. And it's a good upper body workout, and it's good for energy. And then sometimes after that, I will grab a guitar and play some guitar. The trumpet is the one that I really have to keep up with, because the muscles for your trumpet skills, your amateur, they are really demanding. They're needy little buggers. So yeah, I got to practice the trumpet, at least blow some long tones a little every day. And then, play some keys, which never seems to get old. I love playing keys. So yeah, that's kind of a typical day when I'm off the road. Kids come back from school around 4:00, grab them. We typically, I'll like encourage those guys. They're playing a bunch of instruments. So I'll help them with their homework. We'll jam some guitar all together. And then a lot of times, we're cooking like really healthy, nutritious meal. It's a big organic house here, and we're fond on getting our nutrients. And then, nighttime, I don't know, we're chilling. I put the kids to bed, and then a lot of times I come back down to the basement, and I'm writing new tunes to send to Josh, or I'm, continuing one of those many endeavors. Oh, what else are you growing? Any herb? No herb. I would love to one day, but New York hasn't really caught up to the rest of the world. I'd love to get into some CBD extraction. That's my fave right now. Getting a little daily CBD dose. And then on tour. Oh, a typical day on tour. That varies a lot too. So if it's a show day, typically, because we're in a bus, so we have a driver that is dedicated to just driving, and he drives overnight. Big shout out to Rob. Rob's fam too. Yeah, Rob, hope you're doing well. Hope you're doing well. Forget it. Yeah. So Rob is typically driving us overnight. So say we end a show and we all get in the bus at like 2-3 in the morning. We all start passing out on the bunks. Rob then takes off, and he's driving while we're trying to sleep. Some of us are sleeping. Some of us are bouncing in our bunks. Some of us are trying to stay in our bunks. Most of the time it's fine and we're passed out. And then we'll wake up, the next morning at 10, 11 a.m. at the venue. And then all the gear gets loaded in, kind of spec exactly how we're going to lay out the stage for that day, because every venue is different and every stage is so dramatically different. And we want the lighting to look as good as we can. So we're setting up our lighting. A lot of times I'm tweaking things on my keyboard patches or the guitar rig, or, constantly trying to evolve our sound, thinking about what we can do to switch up the show. And then we'll sound check. After sound check, a lot of times we do like a meet and greet. So we have fans come in, and we'll come give some big what ups and high fives. And yo, that's like been awesome. We just started doing that, and it's awesome to like actually connect with the fans out there. And, you know, become friends with these people who we get to see often several times throughout the year at these shows. So that's been cool. And then it's like a quick sprint to go get some dinner. So we go grab some dinner, and then, you know, and then it's like, yo, the funniest part is honestly, it's usually a power nap after dinner and then waking up and summoning some energy, doing some, I don't know, some push-ups, jumping around. Sometimes G's bumping music on the bus, and we're like getting wild and being silly and, you know, vibing out just to get the thing happening. And yeah, and then we go in and we hit the show and try and give it a big rage of a night, you know, to like light everyone up. And then oftentimes we're chilling with the fans after the shows too, which is another great moment. You know, it's cool to like hear some stories about, you know, some of the songs and who loves what, and maybe some of the songs have helped some people along the way, which always feels special. You know, it's nice to know those things. It's nice to know that the work and the love we're giving out is actually impacting people in a positive way. So that is life on the road. And then, yeah, after that, we're, you know, pass back out, bouncing down the road to the next stop. Days off on the road, we're typically going to like national parks and hiking and getting some outdoor time and some exercise and things like that. Yeah, Steven, the bouncing lights for breaking the glass at Mission Ballroom were fire. Yeah, we programmed that. That was fun. Because the whole idea is I was just picturing the crowd going like this, you know? And I was like, man, how do I like signal them? How do I let people know that that's what's happening? And I was like, oh, let me take the lights and go boom, boom, boom. So that's fun. What else do we have in here? Reed Foster, do Kofi and Ari play instruments? Yeah, so my two kids, what, you're 9 and 11? Yo, come over here. Yeah, come say what up. Yo, I'm going to have you say what up to the little dudes. Here, Kof, jump in here. Ari? Well, I'll let you guys let them know. What instruments you guys playing right now?
I play the drums and guitar.
I play the trumpet and a little bit of guitar.
Yeah. Ari also like messes around. We all mess around on the drums. Both of you guys have done, well, Kofi's in the orchestra. He actually got pulled up to the grade above him, which is awesome, to do the, what is it, 6th grade orchestra?
6th grade orchestra.
He's in 5th grade. He's doing 6th grade orchestra. He's playing violin. These guys both been doing Suzuki violin since they were like 3, 4, maybe 4. How old were you? Yeah, I think it was young. Probably younger than they remember. But yeah, and then we have been jamming tunes here in the basement. Ari had to write a song for a school project recently because these guys have been home. And we took a new movement rhythm that I sent to Josh. It's this song called Mountain, and I think eventually you guys will all hear it. That might come out as a single or maybe as part of a new full length. And I muted Josh's vocal, and we had Ari sing over top of it, and he had to sing about what his book was that he read. And it was pretty much the cutest thing I've ever heard. It was the manliest thing that ever got laid on a mic. I mean, it was really rad. And then yeah, Kof is like killing it on the drum. I mean, everything. Yeah, it's been fun. I've been showing him some like James Brown beats on the drums, and everything I'm throwing at him, he's been grabbing. So that's been really cool. So we've been writing some songs as a fam, and we wrote one in particular that has been a little fun anthem. And typically for our workouts, when we are chilling, we come down here and we put on dance music, and our dance music like pumps us up, and we just like put on a Spotify dance playlist, nothing in particular. But yeah, we then like just get all amped up and bounce around and do that. So we created a dance song. Oddly, it's called Let's Make This Night a Thing, which is hilarious because Kofi ends up singing it. Ari's singing on it too. We actually recut the vocals, and I haven't bounced it out with the new vocals yet. And then Autumn, my lady, she's singing on there too. All the female vocals in there. I think we should play it for him. What do you think?
Yeah.
So this is like Goodwin Family Band debut. I don't think anyone's ever heard this other than like, maybe my parents and some people. So you guys all down? Can I just spin this for you? Let's do it. Oh, here, let me get over here.
Okay.
And
I go over with the microgreens.
yeah, let's see what's over here on the DJ setup. I think we're ready. So let's make this night a thing. The lyrics actually were inspired from my cousin Jared Valentine. I hope, Jared, you're doing well. Love you, man. He's been spinning me some lyrics, right? Trying to get some foundation as a lyricist. And his lyrics are incredible so far. So that's been fun to play around with those. We'll answer this here in a second. I would like to know what you guys think about that. But here we go. Let's make this night a thing, featuring Kofi and Ari. And I think myself programming some stuff. There's some trumpet in there, and Autumn singing as well. Autumn's being camera shy. I don't know. Maybe she'll come out. Maybe not. But here it is. Is that all coming through? You guys are hearing it, right? it is. Goodwin Family Band debut. Oh, man. That was fun. So that's these guys singing the vocals. Autumn singing on that as well. I'm programming it and just encouraging them to be awesome. So there it is. What do you guys think?
Yeah, I like it.
Like it. Aaron, yo, what's up, Aaron? Dance moves are killing it. I think Kofi was literally doing the what's the at the car dealerships, the blow up guys that are like blowing in the wind. That's a favorite dance move of ours. The blow up guy blowing in the wind. Oh man. Yeah. Ja Will. Oh man, can't wait to dance party with you, Ja Will. World premiere. It is true. We're gonna hopefully keep pumping them out. We'll come out with a record for you guys before this is all over. Oh, Sam Hobbs. Yes, got my 2-year-old daughter, Calla, bobbing and weaving. Oh man, Sam's like my best friend from high school. He's out in Denver right now. Got some beautiful youth in the works here. So, Sammy, it was great to see you out in Denver. Say what up to the fam. Whoop, 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 whoop. Say what up to Sam.
Hello.
Hello.
So the question that came up earlier was, hey, this was from Chris Murphy. Hey, boys. Oh, no, one last thing. I got to keep you. So they said, what's it like to watch your dad on stage? So I think probably the highlight for that in my mind was when you guys came out to Red Rocks and you got to see me. Well, that was a highlight for me too, because that was my first time playing Red Rocks and it was so insane. But what do you guys think? What's it like?
It was cool. It was really cool, but it was a little weird because my dad told them that it was his brother's birthday.
Oh, it was.
And he was there, and on the way back up, because I went in the front with my grandpa to see closer.
Oh yeah.
And then when I went back to go with the rest of us, people were saying to me happy birthday, and I was so confused. But the nice thing, I did get a free poster, so
Oh, sweet.
that was nice.
Nice. What about you, Kof?
Yeah,
What'd you
it's
think?
fun watching you do the jumping off the kick drum and doing the
Wiling out.
Yeah,
Yeah, being crazy.
watching you go insane.
Well, it's my favorite having you guys there. It's awesome. Yeah. Oh man. Would you do guitar lessons for kids? Yeah, I think so. You know, it's funny. I've always debated about doing lessons. I've been doing lessons on the road through Backstage Music Lessons. And I think if you go to the website, backstagemusiclessons.com, you can sign up to do some lessons. But I was thinking about that on my time home, maybe offering up some lessons. So if you are interested in that, later guys, go to backstagemusiclessons.com, and I think you'll find my info there, and you'll be able to sign up for something. What else is happening down here? Oh man, so fun. Do you know how to play the harmonica? I mean, I can blow through it. I wouldn't say I know how to play it, but I could jam along on some harmonica probably. Man, I don't know what else. Oh, I know what I wanted to talk to you guys about. We just recently released a new single, The Movement did. And we've got a cool lyric video that was created for it. But I'll give you a little back info on the single. The single's called Alien. And it was a really cool project, really unique. Ineffable, some of the Ineffable guys, Adam in particular, I think spearheaded this one, but went and took a rhythm that this artist Collie Buds from Bermuda had put together. Collie Buds he's incredible, total inspiration to me. So he wrote this rhythm, which rhythm for us in the reggae scene is basically a music bed with no lyrics on it. So a song with no lyrics. And then he sent that out to all these different artists that would be performing at Cali Roots this year. And all the singers for those bands then got to sing their vocals over top of that same rhythm, that same musical bed. So Josh, as always, totally killed it and came up with this really rad song called Alien. And yeah, I figure I'll share it with you guys real quick. We'll try and bump this video and let you guys check it out. And hopefully some of you heard it. If you haven't heard it, just, yeah, peep it. And if you have heard it, enjoy it here. We'll spin this track real quick.
Silence of the night wrap around me. If they say it don't come cheap, but I would give anything to get back to the place where my mom must have found me. The stars wait for me in the night sky. I hear them sing the siren song. Ask why I don't feel the type of love, no. 'Cause I tried to run and I tried to hide, but I cannot control what I feel inside. Don't feel human or even animalian. Goddamn, I must be an alien. 'Cause I tried to run and I tried to hide, but I cannot control what I feel inside. Don't feel human or even animalian. Goddamn, I must be an alien. I tried to run and I tried to hide. I feel inside. Even animated. I must be an alien. I tried to run and I tried to hide, but I cannot control what I feel inside. Don't feel human or even animated. Goddamn, I must be an alien. Ooh, goddamn, I must be an alien. I must be. Goddamn, I must be an alien. I was never meant for this world. Must be from outer space or something. Must have come from somewhere else, you know. Must be an alien.
All right, yo. So there it is, Alien. Hope you guys all dug that. I think you can find that online. Big shout out to Johnny Cosmic. Johnny Cosmic was the producer who mixed all of that, put it all together, all the versions. My friends Giant Panic Gorilla Dub Squad, they also did a version. I helped them record some vocals on that one. That's going to be coming out, so keep your eyes peeled for, I think it's called the Cali Roots Rhythm. So you can search that online. And yo, this has been fun. I think maybe we'll have to do it again sometime. If you guys have any thoughts, ideas, anything you want me to share in specific, feel free to throw it in the chat here, and maybe we'll try and tune back in next week or a couple weeks from now, and maybe do a live stream of some more things, for you all to hang out with. Oh, yes. I wanted to share one last thing with you. This leaf of life. Oh, yeah, on the immunity thing. So this is incredible. This was given to me by a really good friend down in Carolinas. And I was given this leaf right here. Let me see. Yeah, this guy right here in a Ziploc bag, right? And just wetted in a paper towel. And she was like, yo, just go stick that in the dirt when you get home. I was like, really? That's going to work? But this is a plant from Jamaica. It's called the leaf of life. And supposedly it's been used for thousands of years for medicinal purposes. But we literally planted this leaf in the ground. You can see underneath it, all these crazy new stems have grown off of it. And then out of that, it generated this whole plant in just, 6 months? Not very long. So I've been taking some of the leaves off and making tea out of that. And the only other thing I can suggest, which I don't know if it's just placebo or what, but I feel like it's keeping me healthy, oil of oregano. I don't know if you guys know about it. It's one of the most powerful natural antivirals out there. I know this coronavirus is strong, and maybe this isn't as good as washing your hands and isolating, but if you guys want to try and up the immunity, oil of oregano is a good one. So, hope you guys are all safe. Hope you guys are all well. Blessings to everyone. I'm just hoping that we can all join in hands once again sometime soon. Celebrate the good life in person. But for now, celebrate the good life with your loved ones in your quarantine. Get outside, get some fresh air, do some things that maybe you wouldn't have had the opportunity to do if you were busy doing all these things. So, love you guys so much, and we will try and do this again sometime soon. Mad love from the Goodwin family to all of you, and mad love from the movement to all of you as well. Peace and love, and